Hello, everyone, and welcome to part one of our LOFT All-in-One LinkedIn Live series. I'm Dana Gardner, Industry Principal for RealPage, and I'm so excited to be here today with Toby Green to chat about all things LOFT moving. Now, in the remainder of this session and others throughout the week, we are going to dive into everything from hassle-free moving and on-time payments to loyalty programs and think chats and bite-sized format that are really easy to digest right here on LinkedIn. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic, moving. Before we do, Toby, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Thanks, Dana. Hello, everyone. I'm Toby Green, Vice President and GM of Moving here at RealPage. I focus all of my time and obsess about enhancing the moving experience for renters with a current emphasis on the move-in process.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. We are really excited to have Toby with us today. I have to say, Toby is hands down one of my favorite people to work with here at RealPage. Not to make him blush on camera today. He's a ball of fun, and I can tell you he genuinely cares so deeply about helping our customers with this very, very critical part of the renter journey. And honestly, this has been so overlooked for so long. And Toby, why do you think that we're finally at a point that the moving experience is finally being prioritized in multifamily?
I think it's just a significant recognition that moving is being a stressful experience for renters for forever. And we've conducted a lot of research over the last couple of years, and it shows that well in excess of 90% of renters express frustration with coordinating their move-in activities, and that existing solutions or processes just don't integrate seamlessly from their lease application process or even with their living portal experience. And today's generation, but actually residents of all demographics now expect an end-to-end digital experience. You just look at how we interact with technology today versus we did 15 or 10 years ago. They don't want a collection of disjointed applications. And RealPage has been going through this incredible transformation journey years, and we're extremely committed to putting the resident experience front and center to support not only your residents, but to enable property managers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's so true, right? There's been such a disjointed experience, especially when you think about that transition from that leasing journey, what has been happening as renters are making their decision on where they want to live. And then as they move from that experience, which has typically been a little siloed into that living experience in particular, there's this chasm, this big gap. And there's a lot actually that happens in that gap, and it's kind of complex. So what are some of the easiest ways that, our property managers can really start to simplify that move-in experience, which is a bit complex today?
Yeah, again, I sort of refer back to, we spent a couple of years really working on our own research, interviewing the market, and it indicates that clients and non-clients of all different shapes and sizes have different processes, whether they are centrally managed, regionally managed, or site level managed for enabling and digitizing move-ins, or sometimes not even digitizing them. And so, our recommendation right now, like here, February 2025, is let's start with a simple step, depending on where you are. And that's getting your residents logged in to your portal days or weeks before their move-in day. Now, that we appreciate that needs to happen in a limited scope manner. And you don't want to provide access to all the features and the functionalities of the living portal before move-in day. And I'm delighted to say that I think this is now happening with almost 90% of our LOFT customers, and will hopefully be up to 100% in the next coming months. Once that process or that change has occurred in terms of like introducing a digital portal either at move-in day, but now it's pre-move-in day, the next is let's launch a standard, simple digital move-in checklist to collect any information that was missed in the lease. And these items typically are around registration, vehicle registration. You certainly don't want to be towing your brand new residents' cars on the day after they move. It's not a great first experience.
No.
Collapse. Yeah. And so, and then collecting emergency contact information for those worst moments. And so let's just start there, nice and simple. And from there, once we've created this change process, we're asking our clients to think about, okay, well, what are the custom tasks that you want to add to this checklist? It may be setting up digital locks or mail collection services, or you may want to promote commercial internet partners that you have. And so, this approach streamlines, the move-in tasks into an overall digestible to-do list for residents. We're going to eliminate a lot of paper activity or email activity, and then moving that data from one system to another, and hopefully syncing a lot of this back to your PMS. So yeah, that's where I'd start.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to that, right? I think we can definitely see how, not only taking everything and digitizing it, first of all, is a huge step. I mean, I remember even working on site, and I'll never forget, you'd pick a Saturday or you'd pick a quiet day on site, and you would build packets. You'd grab a box of folders, and I'm still even hearing from our customers that they do this today. They open that folder, it's branded, it has their logo on it, and they take their paper packets, they staple them, they put them on one side, they go through their bag or box of all the flyers and coupons and utility flyers, and they stuff the other side, and then they have packets ready to go. And that's their move-in packet right now, right? And you kind of hope that you hand that to the renter, and ideally they take the 20 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour to go through each one of those things and ideally sign up for what they need. But we all know that it's not going to be that simple, and they're probably not going to do those things. And the reality is they're going to skip over a lot of the detail. So not only are you giving them a bunch of information that's probably not going to get digested, but they're probably not going to pick up on all those nuances that you discussed, right? Those things that are ultimately going to allow them to be successful and prepared and ready, but also having a delightful experience around that. So yeah, I mean, it seems like there's not only a lot that needs to get updated, a lot of data that they need to collect back and our site teams need to be able to get to, but also answering a lot of questions along the way. It seems like a really arduous and painful process ultimately. And we know there's a lot of time that's dedicated to the move-in process today. So what else is our team internally from, the development point of view looking to do to diversify what can really be included in this moving process to help make that setup even easier than we already are?
Well, it goes without saying, we want to digitize everything that you've just said, right? But as referenced in the previous my previous answer, like, we want our customers to kind of crawl, walk, run into this. You can move as fast or as slowly as you want. It's about changing behaviors, and everybody's got a lot of projects on at all time. But what is our team thinking about right now? We know that vacant loss recovery is a significant issue for our clients, particularly around on-time electric account setup and document collection. We know there's solutions in the market, and we have some other solutions as well here at RealPage. Our customers and research tell us that promoting commercial partners, you talk about those leaflets. Maybe it's you've got a deal with AT&T or Spectrum or Xfinity or something like that. It's managed by leaflets. And that's just really hard to scale, and just the training aspect of it when you have new team members coming into the leasing office. So recently we just launched an internet marketplace where residents can browse, compare, and actually shop for available internet plans based on their unit address directly within the moving checklist. This isn't just like, oh, affiliate links out to sort of partners. This is like compare the price of Spectrum, AT&T, Xfinity, Verizon, etc., side by side based on availability. And we're working with in excess of 15 plus nationwide service providers, and that will continue to expand. So we've got a really strong nationwide hold on the market there in terms of just enabling residents to get internet ready. We're also exploring similar solutions for the deregulated energy markets. I live here in Texas, is probably one of the largest dereg markets, but there's another, I think, 14 or 15 states with deregulated energy. And so how do we bring those solutions front and center to your residents? And there's a different process and flow in every part of the country. And so, that's a problem that we want to solve for residents. But also in regulated markets, we know just collection of the electric account information is really important. And so how do we collect that, sync that back to the property management system? Some parts of the country require documentation to be submitted. So how do we collect that document and put it back into the PMS's doc management system? Those are the things that we're focusing on right now. For, I think, 4 or 5 months now, we've been piloting partnerships with a national moving company, a home tech care service, furniture rental solutions. We're seeing great engagement from residents. And like, if we can delight the resident and make that move-in experience convenient, awesome. And we will optimize that marketplace based on resident engagement. It won't be like a 1,000 things. It'll be like 3 or 4 things that residents really want and they really love.
Yep. And it makes a ton of sense. I mean, even when you think about the vacancy loss and the cost that's incurred that properties are paying for some of these things because they're not transferring over into the name of the renter when it should be, right? Things are not ready on move-in day. There's additional soft costs that are happening all over the place that, people aren't prepared for move-in. Yes, it's frustrating for the renter, but it's also frustrating for our customers as well, right?
Yeah.
We have to think about the opportunities to make sure that we're aligning the needs of people at the specific moments in their journey, like you just mentioned. I think that's an important thing to call out and talk about a little bit more. When we think about what do renters need when they're moving, they need different things than when you're already living in a home, right? They need new furniture, they need movers, they need things that are very, very specific at that moment in time. And so when we align them with things that are personal to their journey at that moment, we see a happier renter, something that's more personalized, and ultimately they take better advantage of the offers that are in front of them. So I think this is a huge win for our customers and for our renters, and great offers, easy to set up, no more chasing down available providers, and it's all in one place. And it's in the same app that ultimately they're going to be using for everything else in their entire renter journey. So wins all around. And also just a reminder for our audience today, we're taking questions and comments live. So if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to enter those in the chat. We'll address them as we see them. And please feel free to interrupt us. We're happy to engage. Don't hesitate. So, Toby, I know that one of your goals in moving is to really help residents feel at home faster and orient them to their community and transition them into this new, current resident life as fast as we possibly can. So what are some of the ways that you're really helping to orient them to their community faster?
The user experience is everything, right? And so, LOFT brings everything resident in one app. But the LOFT moving journey is a bridge between the lease and the application and the living journey. And so the overarching principal goal beyond driving efficiencies and automation to our clients and our partners is to get residents comfortable with that LOFT user experience and that application. And so we're asking residents to familiarize themselves with 3 key tasks before moving in or before they're buried in boxes, right? And nobody wants to download an app on move-in day. They want to do it before or after. So it's better that we do it before. So the first thing is we want to show them where to pay their rent. Number 2, we want to encourage them to download the LOFT application because people like to sort of communicate and receive notifications in that manner, and it helps our property managers better nudge and engage with their residents. And thirdly, it's around checking out the property information page within the moving flow, just so they know everything that you want to put in front of them on a site-by-site basis. And so, the end goal is driving higher portal registration, reducing non-digital frequently asked questions for your staff and your team, and really ensuring on-time digital rent payments that first month.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many exciting things that are in the works, being delivered as we speak, and are very close on the horizon. So, some incredible, incredible work from you and your team so far. And I think, with Loft moving finally out in the wild and some more in early release with Loft, Loft overall releasing to market in mid-March. It's right around the corner. Very exciting stuff. Is there anything else about Loft moving in general that you want to share with our audience today?
Yeah, sure. Look, moving is complex and varies greatly by region, by site, and by manager. And we're not trying to build a one size fits all flow. We're trying to build solutions that empower your teams to assist all residents, whether they are moving in, moving out, or even sort of transferring units. So we've been talking about moving in today, and we're gonna focus on that for the immediate future. But moving out is coming fast, and the overall goal is to deliver a solution that your team can tailor to your moving experience or your brand or your overall value proposition on a site-by-site basis or portfolio-wide. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a slice of what the future.
I love it. There's a reason we didn't call it Loft Move In. We called it Loft Moving.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it.
I love that. Wonderful. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining Toby and I for part 1 of our Loft All-in-One series. We really look forward to seeing you at part 2 on February 18th, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central. I'll be joined by Isabel Mayer-Stop to chat about making online payments a breeze and simplifying everyday life for your residents and on-site teams. It's going to be a really awesome chat, especially if you're payments nerds like us. The link to register can be found below in the chat, so definitely check that out. And we hope everyone enjoyed our chat today. We will see you next time. Have a great day.